So are you ready to PR yourself? We'll remove the mystery from all things PR, and we'll discuss everything from our top strategies to tips and tricks and everything that you can utilize to further enhance your brand or your message. I've been in media, I'm a journalist, and I'm also a publicist. I am Leah Frazier, CEO of Think3 Media, and your host for PR Yourself with Leah Frazier. Let's go. All right, and welcome back to another episode of PR Yourself with Leah Frazier. I'm your host, Leah Frazier, and today in the studio, I have one of Think3 Media's most amazing contractors, Ashni Pabley.
Oh, that was so nice.
That was a great intro, right?
Yeah, it was a great intro.
She is fantastic. I'm just going to put it out there, and I don't want y'all to steal her away from me. But before Ashni came along, I was on the struggle bus, and I was on the struggle bus bad. Just because it is so hard to find good help. And people view PR as super glamorous. They see all the events, they see the red carpet, they see the influencers, they see you behind the scenes at the TV station, maybe the radio station, maybe not so much now because of COVID-19. And they just think, I want to be in that hustle and bustle. Like, I want to be a part of that life. And then once they get in it, and it is so fast paced and it is so demanding, they're like,
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think a lot of the new girls that are getting into PR, they don't, I 100% agree. They don't realize that it's actually work. Like, you actually have to show up for work. Yeah. And like, it's a lot of emails, it's a lot of pitching, it's a lot of like back end work before you actually get to those like fancy glamorous events. And then when you're even there, you're working while you're there. So
we're not cute.
Yeah.
I'm normally, if I'm working, people will normally know if I'm actually working the event because I traditionally, and this is just from my fashion background, I'll be in all black. I'll be in very comfortable shoes because I'm typically running around. And it kind of sucks for me because I am, and I hate using this word, but it's the facts. I am an influencer on top of being a publicist. So sometimes if I'm at an event, people assume I'm not working the event. So they're trying to pull me over and, hey, come take a picture with me. And I'm like, no, I'm working. Hey, let's go to the bar. No, I'm working.
Yeah.
You know, but I think people see those facets of it and think, this is cool. I want to get into it. And then when you get into it, you're like, no, this is a lot of work.
Yeah, for sure.
It's figuring out, you know, where to put, what do they call it? The square peg and the circle hole, or the circle peg and the square hole, whatever it is. A hole can't be square. Okay, anyways, so it's a lot of that, and it's a lot of communication, and it's a lot of back and forth, and it's a lot of, people don't understand it.
Yeah.
But Ashni has been a great addition to the team, has taken a lot of stress off of me. So if I could just clone her maybe 3 or 4 times, I think Think3 Media will be okay, along with our other amazing contractors. I'll just shout out Cameron Pate right now. And we have so many other videographers and photographers that we work with that just make us amazing. But Ashni's been great. So I wanted to bring her on today just because she may appear in some other future episodes as well. But I just wanted to talk about like basics that you've learned so far, especially if on the show we're talking to maybe businesses and brands and entrepreneurs who haven't even considered PR and don't really realistically know the work behind it.
Yeah.
So tell me about coming into it, kind of what your perception was versus it's been 90 days, right? It's been 3 months.
Yeah. I think, no, it's been since
Longer?
June.
Oh my God. 4 months.
She's forgetting about me.
My bad. It's been busy. You know how busy we've been.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. So tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, I thought so. Okay, so in high school, I got elected to be the PR chair for my choir. I was a choir nerd, so everyone elected me to be the PR chair, and I was like, I don't know what this is. Like, what do I do? And they're like, you just throw parties. Like, when we have a party, just bring some cookies. And so that's my perception of PR until I got to college. And
was cookies and punch and parties?
Yeah.
Nice.
Choir nerd stuff.
Well, I mean, in Dallas, that is PR. That is a level of PR. Okay, you're on the right track.
So when I got to college, I started out actually pre-med. And
I got a smart one, you guys.
I was talking to my advisor. Well, not really, because I ended up dropping out. So But I talked to my advisor and I was like, what can I do that's similar to, because I was in a club when I was doing PR, that's similar to what I'm doing in this club. And she was like, you can get a degree in this. I was like, really? She's like, yeah, go for it. So I went ahead and enrolled in the program. But my trouble is that a lot of these girls that are coming up now, they don't know that it's actual work, because my professors would tell me, like, this is work. Like, PR is like 50-hour weeks, you know, you're not gonna,
or more.
Yeah, exactly. So you're not gonna be, just letting you know before you guys get too deep into this, it's a lot of work. So I don't know where this perception comes from, where it's like, especially with girls who are pursuing the career, like, are their professors just not telling them, like, hey?
I don't know that they're not telling them. I think that it changes so much every year with the inclusion now of like the digital landscape. So in a couple of weeks, we'll be talking about Instagram and TikTok and like how those new platforms have now kind of transcended all these different generations now, where it didn't before. And that is a form of PR. And we're seeing a lot of people either receive interviews from being TikTok stars, right? Or marketing and actually receiving sales, because now there's TikTok advertising for business that I just received a report on the other day that I'm trying to read through. So I think that it just changes so much. And as an adjunct myself, I'm brought in to kind of say, this is how it works in the real world, versus some of the other professors who may not actually, they got the doctorate or the master's, but they didn't really go out and practice it. Oh. I hear that from a lot of students. Where there's nothing wrong to get the theoretical part. You're gonna need that. You need the theoretical part. You need the psychological part. You need the educational part. But you also have to balance it with, this is how it works in the real world. And I'm finding there's very few that are getting that last piece.
Yeah, for sure. I think so. I think a lot of like, oh my gosh, I went to SMU, so a lot of the girls in my class were in fashion PR. They wanted to do fashion PR. And their perception of fashion PR was like, I'm just going to like put together like a PowerPoint that has all the new trends that are coming up, and then I'm gonna pitch that to a big fashion company. But in reality, like when you go to a school like SMU, their dad knows somebody, their mom knows somebody, and I think that's an important part of PR too, is like having those connections and those relationships to get in. So I think it just varies, you know. It's like, are you really in it to actually like do something? Are you in it to be at a certain status?
Yeah. It's a fine line to walk, and I think not many people realize how much it changes every day. It does take a lot of time. So if you're out there and you're thinking as a business owner, as a brand, as an entrepreneur, I would highly suggest considering freelancers that are skilled in PR, because of the amount of hours that it takes. Ashni hit the nail on the head. That for me, if I have a particular pitch day, which I did yesterday for a finance client of mine, I spent all day pitching them. And I didn't even get to a certain set of outlets in another city that they have a location in, because Dallas took me 8 hours to do. Okay. So it's a lot of time, but I feel like the output is so rewarding once they're able to reach their goals that it's okay. But I think keeping that in mind will help you so that you're not just focusing on the glamorous parts, that you actually realize like, hey, I'm going to have to carve out X amount of hours per week to get this done for my business. And maybe even consider bringing in a freelancer to cover the rest, knowing that it's going to take me 8 hours just to send out the press release on one day properly.
Yeah.
So another thing that I want to kind of pick your brain about that you're probably realizing that I haven't even asked you was, did they spend a lot of time talking about the copywriting piece of PR.
Yeah, I had a whole class on that
Great.
in college. Yeah, I did. I had a news writing class, and then I had an advanced news writing class. So yeah, they were pretty adamant about teaching us how to write and how to write for news properly. But I do know that some programs don't have that, which is kind of sad because like we do a lot of writing.
Yes. So here's the thing. So I probably send Ashni like maybe 3 articles a week, or maybe one or 2 a week that a lot of people don't realize in PR. There's actual media outlets or digital sites where they're like, if you write it and it's professional and all we have to do is click publish, we will publish this on our site and link it back to you, which is great for SEO. So we'll have Charlene McCraney in a couple of weeks to talk all things SEO. But a lot of people don't even realize that you can actually write your own write-ups and submit it to a website.
For sure, yeah. Yeah.
But if you can't write, you need a copywriter.
Yeah. I mean, like, that's half of what we do. And I think sometimes even, you know, journalists will just, like, copy a little paragraph from the release and put it in their article, which is, like, gold to us. But, I mean, if you don't know how to write, you know, that might not happen. So
how many hours per week, because you do have another gig and it's heavy in copywriting as well, so just realistic, how many hours a week are you doing the copywriting piece of PR?
Oh my gosh, I don't know. I think there was one day where I pushed out 4 drafts of blogs. So like we're talking like 600 words, 4 drafts. Oh my gosh. Somebody called me and was like, "Hey,
she just gave me wine." I'm like reaching down to just give that back to her. Hold on. Yeah, she just gave me wine, so I'm reaching back down in my purse to give that back to her. I can't even imagine. I can't imagine.
That was a bad day. But I do push out at least like 3 to 5 blogs a week. And then, you know, press releases or anything of that nature, and then pitching. So
it is a lot of writing, you guys. If you are not a skilled writer and you don't have an Ashni, and yes, I'm making her out like she's a noun, like a goddess noun. Okay. If you don't have an Ashni on your squad, my suggestion is if you first, you know, if you're not putting anything out in Indeed, or a lot of you startups and small businesses, you are on a severe budget. My suggestion is go out to Fiverr, F as in Frank, I, V as in Victor, ERR.com, and find a copywriter. Okay. And have them write it for you. Some of them start out at $5, others is $10, $25, whatever it is, but it is so worth it for you to have something written in the right way that you can kind of shop around to these other outlets to say, let's just say, for example, I'll use a current client where I realized that, hey, COVID cases are going back up. You help small businesses. So can you give me 6 tips that small businesses need to be thinking of right now in order to survive a possible second wave of heightened COVID cases and a possible shutdown? So they wrote the article, gave it back to me, and I shopped it around, and it was placed yesterday, I believe. And then it may get placed somewhere else next week. So that is an option for you to be able to do, but you're going to need that person that fulfilled the copywriting piece so that you can shop it around.
Yeah, for sure. And I think like one thing big that I see is that people's websites are not together, like in terms of copywriting. Like, what do you mean? I mean, like there are some websites out there where
our clients.
Huh?
Don't you too? Okay,
I'm not going to say.
Oh,
we'll talk about it later.
You didn't tell me.
There are some
you can't keep this to yourself.
Well, okay, maybe not Think3 Media clients, but I do see some. Because, you know, we check that. But
sure do.
We see.
Don't play those games.
So I've seen some websites where there's like big misspellings, or there's like huge grammatical errors just in the bio, and like the first thing that a new client or anybody does is click the about us. They want to know about you, and if your bio is not together, it's a little bit of a problem, especially for me, who's going to be trying to take that and turn it into an article, you know? Right. So I think just having somebody, not even like a web designer, just having a copywriter just go over your website and give you some edits is very valuable.
PR yourself with a copywriter. You guys, you have no idea how valuable it is. We'll get into content marketing. I don't have enough time on this episode to talk about it today. That's why I just need y'all to stay locked in and subscribe, because every week, twice a week, you're going to get more than just PR. You're going to get marketing nuggets. But for content, if you're not a great writer, that's okay. God didn't bless you with that gift. Maybe he gave you the gift of gab, like me right now. You're a great orator, or however you say it. You're great at speaking. Or maybe you're just great at being the energy in the room, but you can't write for shit. And that's fine. If you can't write, though, you're going to have to hire somebody. Because one of the great things that one of the news anchors that came in earlier this week said was, if I get an email and it's grammatically incorrect, or I can't piece it together, and especially if it's in the first couple sentences, delete. I'm done. I move on. And you're not going to get that chance again. So take a little bit of chunk out of your budget and just pay somebody to do that for you. Read it over yourself. If it sounds good, then you can take the time to shop it around, but do yourself a favor and just know that you're going to have to spend quite a bit of time on this copywriting piece for PR, period. But I love that. The reason why I love that is because you get to control your narrative. You get to write the article, and then all your job is to do is to get it published somewhere. It's that simple.
Yeah.
It's that simple. And then when you share it out, you just say, oh my God, I'm so excited to be on such and such.com. They don't have to know you wrote that yourself.
For sure, yeah.
Listen, it's a mention. It's a backlink to your website for SEO. Move on. Pat yourself on the back. They don't need to know you wrote it or an Ashni behind the scenes wrote it. Just move on.
Yeah.
Well, cool. All right. So that is, any other tips before we move on to my PR Petty segment?
Oh, I can't think of anything right now.
How can people get in touch with you if they want copywriting tips?
Shall I give them my Think 3 Media email, right?
Well, you could. Yeah. Go ahead. Yeah.
So
for branding purposes,
okay,
yes.
Yeah. So it's Ashni, ASHNI at think3media.com.
Yes. And that is my superstar. So if the conversation goes beyond anything else, you're going to have to send it to me. Just joking. So thank you so much, Ashni, for those tips. And you guys, that is something super serious. And I don't think I would have ever I don't think I've ever done presentations and really focused so much on the copywriting aspect of PR before. But I feel like it has literally taken over the business in the last, especially since the pandemic, for whatever reason. That has been a very valuable selling point to be able to say, I'm a journalist. Ashni's trained in journalism. One of my clients has an internal communications department. Their person is trained in journalism. So we're cranking out these pieces. I have several to write this weekend, so I'm locking myself in. You have no idea. I have 3 for the Dallas Observer. I have 2 for the banking client. I have to review yours. You turned in several so this is going to be a copywriting weekend for me.
Nice.
And I'm okay with that, because once they get published again, no one knows that we wrote it in house. Sure. All right. So anyways, moving quite along to the PR Petty of the week. We've had some segments where I haven't been able to get to it because we've just been chatty Cathy, but Ashni's here and she's going to give me her PR perspective on a recent current event. So recently in Dallas, a very good friend of mine on WFAA Channel 8, who will actually be on a future episode of PR Yourself with Leah Frazier, Tashara Parker, who is our just community leader in all things coverage in Dallas, recently did a TV segment where she wore her natural hair. She's African American, wore her natural hair in these buns. It was almost like a bun hawk, and it went down. It was very, she slicked the edges, and then she had these buns that went down the center of her head, and that was her style. I thought it was so chic and so cute, and I was like, I need to do that. But she got a lot of backlash from some viewers, and she had some people on social media who weren't Black telling her that her hair was not professional. And I mean, so Tashara took that opportunity. She posted on social media. Now, the support she received, especially from the natural hair community and the Black community, was yes, queen, representation.
Yeah.
They were sending in pictures of their young little girls wearing their hair like her to school, or wearing it at home if you're Zooming at home. there was a Dallas artist that painted her and presented her the painting of her hairstyle along with like, it was very like African queen. It was beautiful.
Wow.
He did that at the American Airlines Center. And then the very next day, because she texted me and said, hey, sis, there's something I got to get to you, but I can't because I'm working on a piece for tomorrow's news segment to address what just happened. And when she came out, the news segment just talked about pretty much, you can't dictate to me what professional hair is. And it just blew up. So from a PR perspective, and now she's been in many national outlets for her response and for her hairstyle. From a PR perspective, like, what are your thoughts? Do you think everything was handled correctly? How do you think Tashara should leverage this newfound, like, she has a lot of eyes on her right now. So from your perspective and what you know so far, how should she leverage this for future opportunities? And I will give my advice as well.
Yeah, I think she did an amazing job. I think that maybe the next move for her could be like partnering with a natural hair care brand. Or is that what you're going to say?
Right there. Okay. Because I did put her on several emails with a couple of big natural hair brands here in Dallas.
Yes.
So, okay, continue.
Okay.
This just like validates. We think alike. Okay.
Or like get her some speaking opportunities with
Dunzo. Go ahead.
Okay, what else?
Ashni gonna leave me, y'all, and go start her own PR agency, and I'm gonna be back to square one. So I need to stop teaching her so much. Okay, go ahead.
All right. What else? Maybe get on some boards or yeah, that's all I have. So.
All right, Tashara, so if you're listening, you have your work cut out for you, sis, because the window, and honestly, Tashara does so much and she handles everything so eloquently that I don't think this is one of those PR opportunities where sometimes you tell the client, listen, your window of opportunity is so small. Like we have to just, I don't care if you don't get any sleep. You got to lean into this and we're going to ride this 15-minute wave and we're going to get as much as we can out of this. Like I had a client during the pandemic, same situation, store was looted and the window really was that small for her to tell her story, for her to raise the money, to restore her store, and we did a great job. Like, I think within 2 weeks we had over 20 something press mentions, local and national. So, but I knew this window was small. Tashara's case, this isn't going to be the last time. I feel like there's going to be, I don't want to say controversy, but I don't feel like there's going to be, this is the last time that we're going to hear from her. I think, like you said, this is the start of a new platform for her. And to me, it kind of sucks that it's about your hair, like something you're born with, something that's natural to you. It shouldn't even be a thing where you even have to address why you're doing your hair the way you're doing your hair.
It's hair. Who cares?
And that's what she said, right? But as soon as that happened, Ashni, if I was going to PR Tashara, that's exactly what I did. I texted her and I said, there's several natural hair care brands that are huge that are based here right in Dallas, Texas. Let me put you on an email. Y'all take it from there, blah, blah, blah. Oh, by the way, there's these outlets that are doing natural hair discrimination weigh-ins. I just received this across my desk. I'll totally send this your way. Please answer it and get it back to them. Boom.
Nice.
Sent that off to her so that now she can leverage her voice as like a natural hair advocate and can discuss those areas of natural hair discrimination. So boom, sent that her way. Definitely discuss the platform of speaking opportunities. So that was great, where she can leverage that in the right limelight. There's just so much she can do with this.
Yeah.
To continue to ride this wave.
Turning a negative into a positive, for sure.
Absolutely. And then just don't engage with so much of the negative. Take the positive nuggets. Like, there's so many young girls right now who are sending her pictures of their hairstyle just like hers.
That's great.
That they're encouraged, that they see representation on TV. So even her sharing that on her social media or in her stories, to me, is a great form of PR, because now you're reinforcing that what you're doing is really creating change and impacting people's lives. And I think that's amazing as far as branding yourself out there.
Yeah, for sure.
Especially outside of, she's just a robot news anchor. We're seeing Tashara as like literally an influential, impactful personality in the Dallas community and beyond at this point.
Yeah. I mean, like, it bugs me so much that people get upset by this. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
we have real issues like the election.
Yeah, exactly.
But we ain't gonna go there.
But there's a pandemic going on, but you guys want to sit here and talk about somebody's hair.
Yeah.
Which is just, and I think it's very, like, presentable the way she did it, or however you want to call it, whatever is your version of presentable. I mean, like, why do we have to sit here? I could go on a whole tirade.
Yeah, but that's why we're going to have you back. Because it's crazy. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
So shout out to you, Tashara. You handle it great. We can't wait to see what comes out of this. I really hope that I'm just going to put it out there because I just truly believe in manifestation. I hope to see you on the stages of like the Essence Festival, yes, where they have you either moderating a beauty panel or it's just a one-on-one Q&A with you about how this affected change and where you're going in the future. I would love to see you team up with several hair care brands, some of which I've already made that connection for you. And I mean, I just can't wait to see what she does next because she's so unapologetic about who she is and what she's bringing to the community. And she's just overall so awesome. So I can't wait till she's here so I can hear her perspective.
Yeah, I think that'll be great. I think like the more you are yourself, the more other people will be interested in what you have to say. So yeah. So
shout out to you. The PR Petty is not for Tashara. It's definitely for those fools who decided to attack her just for being 100% her authentic self. So keep being you, boo, and we're here to support you. Is there anything else? How can people follow you, Ashni?
You can follow me on social media. Everything is Osh Posh, which is AASHPASH. I probably should change it to something.
We'll put it in the caption.
More my name. And you have my email.
We'll work on that branding piece.
Yeah. Help me brand myself.
Osh PR. It should have something PR in there like where you're like this PR maven.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, I like that.
I do too. We'll work on that.
Okay.
It will be changing soon. Okay. And if you have any episode suggestions, please send them our way, leah@think3media.com, or you can send them to Ashni, who will probably get back faster than me, ASHNI@think3media.com. Please subscribe to PR Yourself with Leah Frazier. You don't want to miss upcoming episodes. Like, I'm having Tashara Parker on to discuss this herself. And one of the top like business gurus, in my opinion, Sean Croxton, will be on a call with me that we're going to be placing on PR Yourself with Leah Frazier in November. Sean is huge. If you don't know who Sean Croxton is, please go look up Sean. So this is a big, huge, massive deal for me. And I'm super excited. And I swear I won't cry when he comes on the episode. All right. So share this out. Leave us a review. And we will see you next time. Thanks for tuning in. And we're out of here. Thank you guys so much to listening to this episode of PR Yourself with Leah Frazier. Just wanted to throw some things out there for you guys that are looking for just a little bit of additional help as you're trying to PR yourself with your business or your brand. I want you guys to know about these resources that I've curated just for you. So you can always head to PR Yourself with Leah Frazier.com, and it will have all the episode recaps there with photos of the folks that are coming on and the panelists, along with the episode recaps and ways that you can reach out to them directly. And also, if you go to pryourselfwithleahfrazier.com/course, then you yourself, if you just can't wait, if you want to dive in there and know all of the nuggets and you want it in more of an educational and informative fashion, please take my self-paced course, PR Yourself with Leah Frazier. It is one of my highest ranked courses. I've taught this for the last 2 years. I'm constantly getting requested to teach this course across the U.S. I've done it virtually now during the pandemic, and it is a hit. I've had people receive both local and national mentions, things that have helped their businesses truly go to the next level. So remember, PR Yourself with leahfrazier.com/course, and you'll learn everything that you need to do, and you can do it all online, and it's completely self-paced so that you can PR yourself. Also, if you just want to learn more about some of the other marketing courses that we will be dropping periodically throughout the year, go to think3media.com, spell 3 all the way out /Think3EDU, and we will be dropping all of our courses there. So that will pertain to everything with social media updates, influencer marketing, content marketing strategies. So if you just need little bits and pieces here and there, that's where you can go to access those courses and that content. We also have a monthly subscription service. So if you want to sign up for that, there will be a link there, think3media.com /Think3EDU, where once a month you will have one live course with me on something that is trending within marketing that could help you with your business and your brand. And also within that month, there will be a live mastermind session with other business owners or brands just like yourself, where we can mastermind and help you work through some of those marketing and PR issues that you may be having where you feel like you are stuck. We're going to help you PR yourself or market yourself and get unstuck. Okay. And lastly, huge announcement. My PR Yourself with Leah Frazier book is coming. I am finalizing it. It is coming, you guys, and it will drop January 2021. So head to pryourselfbook.com. It's a landing page, but you're able to sign up for my email list so that you get first access to know when that book will be out, and so that you will have yours shipped to you first. So you have to sign up for that list so that once that book launches, you get your hands on yours first. And this will literally be a physical manual that you will have in your office, and you'll be able to carry around with you in order to implement all of the PR strategies that you will need to take your business and brand to the next level. If in fact you're not at a point where you can hire a publicist or a PR agency or a firm. So that is pryourselfbook.com. It's coming January 2021. I'm so excited. I've been working on this for years, you guys, and I'm so excited to give it to you all at an affordable price. But without further ado, just keep listening, binge watching these episodes. I'm so excited to drop many more. And thank you so much for your support. Once again, if you need to reach out to me, feel free to do so. Leah at Think3, spell 3 all the way out, media.com, or follow me on social media at the Leah Frazier, at Think3Media. And you can follow the podcast itself at PR Yourself Podcast, so that you never miss an episode and never miss an opportunity where you can learn from my media friends or other brands on how to PR yourself better. Until again.